Hello everyone, Nadeem here with PC Solutions Net. I'm going to answer a question that a lot of people out there ask me, and that is, what makes us different? So, as an IT service provider, how are we different from other companies out there? And what got me thinking was in one of my meetings, somebody asked me, and this was a new client meeting, and somebody asked me that how are we more proactive? Because they're doing a lot of reactive stuff, and they asked me, how are we more proactive? So I kind of it got me thinking that you know there there is some either misunderstanding or lack of understanding on how we do things, because I had told them our process and how our process really makes the whole delivery of services more efficient and how we track it and things like that. So I'm going to go a little bit into that. So let me share my whiteboard here. So there are a few things that matter when it comes to IT services, right? So there are a few deliveries that we do. So there is the project, so that's the project services. There is a centralized services, right? So that's one of the branches of delivery. So I'll just move this over here. There is what we call a net admin, but it's really a technology person, a technology enablement person, or the assessment guy. So we can call it TAM, or we'll just call them net admin. That's what we call them internally. So we have the net admin, and then we have our VCIO, and the VCIO is what a lot of companies are missing. That's the virtual CIO, and then of course we have support. Now, support, everybody knows what support is. When people talk about IT services, that's what they're talking about, is support. And here's how we are more proactive. So let me just move myself out of the way here. There we go. So a lot of times customers are focusing on this, and that's, you want to do as little of as possible. I'll explain. So you have the project services, the centralized services, right? The more you do of those, the better, because it's advancing something, it's enhancing something. So those are enhancing services. These guys over here are the ones that enable us to be more proactive, how we implement and provide those two services. Now, when we do the net admin and the VCIO functions, we are improving technology, we are enhancing technology, making things easier, faster, better for the customer, more secure. So what we're doing is we are minimizing support. This is what we want to minimize, because the more support there is, the more cost there is. And support does not enhance or modify or speed up things. It's just a cost, right? Project services and centralized services, let me just, so these are good things, right? Now, Out of these, if we do these two NetAdmin and VCIO functions better, then that reduces this. So what we're doing is we are reducing costs. Because why, you ask? Because this support, reactive support, this is the spiral of death. So most companies, most IT companies, they focus on this. And they focus on how they are excellent at providing support. They, their SLAs are so good, blah, blah, blah. That's not what you want. What you want to do is get this support as minimum as possible. So you don't want to have those reactive tickets coming in the first place. If you are doing these roles properly, then this should be at a minimum. And that's what we're trying to get to, because the more of this you have, the more cost you have. And that's how we are able to offer our fixed cost outsourcing service. What that means is you pay a fixed amount per node. Everything is included. On-site visits, remote support, phone support, everything is included. How can we do that? Because of these two items right here, the NetAdmin and the VCIO. If we do these right, we minimize this. So overall, you have less reactive support tickets. Your people are happier. Your business is running smoothly. Things are working better. And we are happier because we're not spinning our wheels in this downward death spiral. We're not stuck in here. So that's what makes us different. That's how we are different, and we're able to provide these services more efficiently. Now, this is something that is crucial in the small business space, and we've been in business for over 20 years, and this is what we've figured out over all these years, is that these two things are the most important. Companies focus on this. That's the wrong focus. You want to minimize this. You don't want to have that. Now, what happens with companies who start focusing on this? So what they do is they put their least talented person on support. That's not what you want. In order to minimize support, in order to minimize the time spent on reactive support tickets, you want to have some of your best guys on support so that they resolve tickets sooner. They resolve issues properly so they don't recur, because every time an issue recurs, that's additional cost to you. That's additional cost to us. So that was a change in thinking that really makes us different. By focusing on these two, we're able to provide more proactive service, and we're not caught in this death spiral of reactive service. So just something to think about. These are the five delivery areas that we have, and maybe one day we'll go a little bit deeper on what all these mean. But basically, these are the most crucial ones that not a lot of other providers have. I mean, these two functions are non-existent at a lot of other providers, especially in the SMB space. And I don't know how they stay in business. Well, maybe that's why they don't stay in business, because they're focused on this guy right here. They're not focused on this. And then, they are putting their least talented people in support because they're like, well, I can put a cheap person over on support. That's the wrong thing to do, because then you have more tickets coming in, your resolution time is higher, you're taking more time to resolve issues, or the tech ends up escalating it, which means the more talented higher end engineers end up spending time on the same ticket anyway. That's a death spiral you want to get out of. So that's what differentiates PC Solutions Net from everybody else out there. That's how we're different. And that's how we're able to do things more efficiently. That basically adds to the bottom line, right? So we wouldn't be profitable if we had not figured this out and not have our way of doing things. There are so many efficiencies, and I can throw some numbers and figures out there that will kind of, any other IT company, that it'll kind of blow them out of the water. How many clients we are managing, what our ticket volume is per tech per day, and what our resolution time is per per ticket, it will just blow some of the companies out of the water. I mean, even larger companies, they're like, how can you get to this many tickets? I mean, the it's such a low level of tickets that are coming in, and it's because we are focusing on NetAdmin and VCIO, which is what really makes it more proactive. So until tomorrow, everybody have a good day. Tomorrow's Friday, so we're gonna have chat with Mac, and maybe we'll discuss a little bit more into this. But until then, everybody have a good day and be safe out there.